when I was a distributor for Quested, one of the things that was part of my job was to set up the dealer network. And one of the things I did, and I was very aggressive about this, is I came up with a spiff program for the sales guys. And I was giving away 50% of the profit that I would make as a distributor. So when a salesperson sold it at regular price, whatever they, 20% over cost or list or whatever they wanted to sell it for, and then they send me the paperwork of who they sold it to, I would give them, I'd send them a check directly. And with some dealers, it worked out okay. But I remember with Vintage King, they had me do a video conference with them to explain the whole Quested line. And I was willing to send them speakers for them to demo and that. And nothing was happening. They didn't sell one single pair of speakers. And with the spiff program, I figured something would happen. And I was talking to Mike Nero one time, and I said, how do you guys sell so many Barefoot monitors? I mean, it's just incredible. And he said, well, they were exclusive at that point. And part of the reason that they were exclusive is they were part owners in the speaker company. So they got it cheaper than anybody else, but there was nobody else to sell it. So they were pushing the line, and any lead that came in, they would push that speaker line. And after they exhausted all that, then they started opening up dealers, and then they were still making money, being the distributor selling to dealers. And it always seemed odd to me that there were so many Barefoot monitors out there, and they're okay sounding speakers. I wouldn't say they were fantastic, and I always thought it was a crazy design. They had speakers pointing in different directions. They have the woofers on the sides, on each side, pointing in different directions. So I've said this before, it's hard enough setting up a room with the speakers facing you. Having them face in different directions is all other can of worms. But the thing that I didn't know that Mike had told me is they were part owners of the company, and it wasn't public knowledge. And now he told me that like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, something like that. So they were doing pretty good, and it kind of almost explains to me how that speaker got into so many studios when no one ever heard of it, and Vintage King was pushing them like crazy. And I don't know if they did this for sure, but I suspected it. A lot of leads that would come in, they would also, maybe they didn't push the line, but they made it available and made the deal very attractive. So interesting way that Vintage King was doing some business.